completely forget about everything that's going on in my life, everything that's going on in my world, any troubles and worries that I've got, because I'm focusing on something completely different.
Yeah, that's an interesting strategy.
But again, when it comes down to outlets for men, it's not publicized enough. There isn't enough publicity for men to say, look, if you're struggling, this is where you can go. This is what you can do. For me, for example, I guess I was lucky enough to be able to find an outlet for me, and that outlet was through photography. I just picked up a camera one day and just went off just taking random photos. And while I was doing that, it enabled me to forget what I was going through at that particular time. And that's something that I've continued over the last sort of 10 years or so, is my passion for photography. When I'm behind my camera, I completely forget about everything that's going on in my life, everything that's going on in my world, any troubles and worries that I've got, because I'm focusing on something completely different.
Yeah, that's an interesting strategy. Let me try to bring the viewers into the conversation, because I've been quiet and we are instigating dialogue here. So why don't you participate in the chat? Let us know, what was your path to peace of mind? We will read it and we share it with other viewers, and maybe we can all benefit from it. James just mentioned photography. Perhaps you have something similar or something that is not exactly related, but I'm very keen to listen to it. You are mentioning the men's shed as a, let's say, a venue for a men's conversation, which is great.
Yeah.
What I find interesting is that we need to build those things for us to start opening up. It's a bit like gyms. Once I was watching a podcast and someone was saying, I can't remember who, but I find it fascinating, the way he captured how society is built these days, that we are so lazy, that we need to build these artificial places, where we need to spend our energy. Because back in the days, like physical work, we'll do. But now, because most people sit in front of a computer, we need gyms where there are actually weights, and there are also treadmills where people run, because people don't like to run in the nature. I know sometimes the weather doesn't allow, but there's also a degree of laziness on individuals, including myself. I'm not just talking from the top of a pedestal here. I love gyms. I cannot imagine working out outside of the gym. To me, it works, but it seems to be that is a human need these days. So it's not on us. Like, we need to have those spaces where, okay, this is where we work out. This is where we talk to each other without much constraints. It's not something natural, but it does help. But we need the context, let's say.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I think as well, obviously, post-pandemic, I hate to bring COVID into this, but obviously post-pandemic, a lot of us are now working from home more, because we've now got that flexible working environment. And, whilst it's nice to be able to work from home, I think, again, obviously that has its negative side to it, because you're not in an office environment, you're not in an environment where you're surrounded by other people and you've got that chance to sit down and have a cup of tea and just have that face-to-face interaction with your co-workers, your colleagues. So I think obviously a lot of people working from home, it kind of has that negative impacts. And plus, and I'm guilty of this as well, I tend to work a lot longer than what my contracted hours are. So again, that kind of stops me from sort of being able to get out and be able to get out and do things, because I find I'm working a lot longer. Whereas when I'm in the office, as soon as it comes to the end of the day, that's it. I'm logged off. I'm getting in the car. I'm driving home.
Yeah. I totally relate to that myself. Like, I went full self-employed in July, so it's now 3 months, and it's very addictive, because there's always something to do, and there is no one to stop you.
Exactly.
And you can see the benefits. You can see that there's something there that you can avail of. Maybe it's not immediately, but on a long run, there'll be tangible objective that you're going to attain if you work hard. At least there is that belief, when you are seeing it, when you are seeing the task. And why would you stop and cook the dinner when you can just order your food in, I don't know, in 30 seconds, and in the meantime, you can still work on that specific activity. And then, of course, that leads to not the best food, that leads to not reply to your family, your friends on WhatsApp, because you believe that you can conquer the road by just being active. And it doesn't work like that, because sometimes being too active, it's not necessarily synonymous of being productive, because if you are exhausted, how can you deliver? You cannot. You start to slow down. Your brain is not totally there. So that's some advice I would like to give to people, let's say, who are working for themselves. That there is a lot of appetite, but you better put some barriers, because otherwise you think you are working properly, but often you are not.
No, that's right. But then again, taking this back to someone's mental well-being. Okay, so if you're working from home, okay, and you've got problems at home, let's say somebody is suffering with loneliness, okay, you are going to be living in that environment 5 days a week, 7 days a week, because those 5 days where you would be in the office, you'll be surrounded by other people, you'd be able to have different conversations, have a laugh and a joke with your co-workers and your colleagues, catch up on, what was on TV last night, things like that. You haven't got that anymore because you're working from home. You haven't got that face-to-face contact, if that makes sense.
Yes, and it's not like, because some people will say, I can get it from talking to people to screens. I'm sorry, but you cannot. It's not a replacement. It's more of it may complement some of the things you have. It's an addition, if that makes sense.
And again,
but it's never a replacement.